right. So we're just going to start with just taking a couple deep breaths. This is just quick, just to ground ourselves, connect ourselves with ourselves and the earth and each other. It helps build our power up a little bit, support each other. So just start, and I like to do it by actually breathing up through the bottoms of my feet. I know that sounds weird, but just imagine the energy coming up through the bottoms of your feet, through the earth, and just bring the breath all the way up to the top of your head. And when you're there, just hold it, and you'll start to feel the energy in your body. And just take a minute to feel that energy. Know that that is you and your energy, but it's also connecting you to the universe and the earth. And just feel it there for a minute, and then when you're ready, just release it and feel the energy moving back down your body. And at this point, you can just release anything that no longer serves you, anything that's maybe worrying you, and let it go into the earth where it's transmuted, and also you're being connected to the earth. Then go ahead and take another deep breath up in through the bottoms of your feet, moving your energy all the way up. And just feel your energy again, knowing you're safe and supported, and feeling the love of yourself and the universe and our circle here. And then release, moving it down again, gently out through the bottoms of your feet. And just take in one last deep breath, breathing the energy up. Again, to the top of your head, feeling your energy, feeling connected. And then release. And when you're ready, just open your eyes, and hopefully you're feeling a little more relaxed. All right. So I'm just going to set some intentions for today. So I like to direct this to the universe, but you can direct it to whatever feels best for you, whether it's God, infinity, angels, whatever that is, spirits. So we ask you to connect to us to develop our psychic and mediumship abilities today, supporting us, helping us connect to receive, and giving us information that's of the highest and best vibration that works out for the highest and best for everybody. So it is. All right, so we are reading for Amber today. The way that we do this is I set a timer for 5 minutes, and you will go ahead and do a reading for that 5 minutes, writing down whatever you get. And then after 5 minutes, I will unmute everybody and we'll go around the circle and give Amber what we got and get some validation. Anybody have any questions? Right, and feel free, if you do have questions, just unmute yourself, or you could even put it in the chat, James. Okay?
Okay.
And you can just unmute yourself if you need to. All right. Okay, guys, so I forgot to start the timer. I started it when I thought. I hope, was that enough time? Was that too much time? You guys are muted, remember?
Yes, I can go first.
Hold on one second. Everybody else okay? Rhonda? Okay. All right. All right, Laura?
All right, so I'll just read and then she'll validate later, right?
Yeah, we'll go around the circle first and then have Amber validate at the end. I'll write down whatever I can, unless it's like a channeled message.
Okay, I don't think I have any of those.
Okay.
So kids, I got yes. How many does she have? And then I saw a big 0, like a big 0. So I was confused about that. I saw a big O. So for age, I did I think I saw like 20 through 40 years old, and then I felt like I needed a circle before the 40. Oh, yes, you're definitely before 40. For age. And then what does she do for work? I saw this symbol of like if someone tried to draw a firework or a pom-pom with pencil or ink, like how it just looks silly, like a bunch of me's, this thing right here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was a pom-pom or a firework, but I drew that. And that's what she does for work. It was confusing. The next thing was, I asked if Amber has any any animals, and I saw a giraffe.
Ooh.
And I wasn't, but it might have been that I glanced at all the viewable tiles and I saw that I was the only person that was up and down and everybody else has their thing like this. Maybe like that I don't know. So just because of how my phone's positioned and stuff, my iPad. So, but I got a very clear giraffe. So I was confused about that. And then I asked, what else can you tell me about Amber in general? And I saw these boxes and I heard the word indifferent. Where is that? Can you see them? Okay, I'll get them all in. See how they get smaller?
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. They get littler. And they were on like this, and they were boxes and they got smaller. And then I saw the word indifference. So that's what I got.
All right. So Laura, I just want to ask you a couple questions. So for any of the stuff that you got, so I would say the fireworks or the pom-poms or the giraffe or those boxes, were you able to ask, or can you ask, or do you have a feeling associated with it that explains it a little? Like sometimes if I just feel into it, I can take that a step further.
Like I assume for work, the work question with that symbol, it probably has to do with explaining not an emotion, but what it's like to work at what she does. Not that she makes fireworks. I bet that it's not physically she makes.
It's the emotion. Okay. That helps.
I bet it's not entirely the emotion, but what she does. Maybe she goes all over the place to do things for work or something.
Okay.
I bet it's not literal, and I bet it's not
right
emotional.
So for the giraffe,
I don't know. That was weird.
okay.
I was wondering, I wrote down, I asked the question, does she, make sure we ask if she has an animal shaped or colored like a giraffe.
Okay.
Otherwise it's my view and I'm just totally off, but it was a very vivid picture of a giraffe.
Yeah, if it's a vivid picture, I'm sure there's something to it. It's understanding what that symbol is. What that's trying to tell you. Okay. So then let's talk about the boxes. So indifferent, they're getting smaller. Do you have a sense of what that?
Like inner, I feel like that's something going on inside her.
Okay. All right. That helps. All right. Who wants to go next?
Oh.
Awesome.
Okay. So I didn't think to ask those questions to myself if she was married or had kids or anything. So I just was. First thing came to me was just like a puppy. like a small puppy. It was kind of maybe black and white, just by itself. Nobody was holding it or anything. It was just a puppy. Then briefly got an angel, white, not doing anything, just a figure, maybe like a figurine, actually, like an angel figurine. Then I saw what to me looked like it was like an outline of a fire. I wrote like a zigzag, like Bart Simpson's hair, like a line and a squiggle. Okay, so I thought then I let it go for a moment, and then I thought to ask wait a minute, what was that, like maybe there was something there. And so when I asked that, then it was mountains. I saw mountains, like a scene, like a mountain scene, but it was more focused on the green part of the mountain, like where the forest was, where everything was still green and alive. So I asked what that meant, because for some reason that stood out to me, and it was spring, and which to me was a new season, a new start of something, for like a freshness I felt in the air, and I actually had to stop. I don't know what. I just felt overwhelmed. I'm feeling it again now. So and I just stopped. Like that's just where I was like, enough for me. I think at right there. I don't know. So that
Yeah,
was.
sounds like you were picking up on some emotional stuff too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely an emotion, but it wasn't mine. I don't know. It was. I've never felt that before. That was weird for me.
Yeah, that's important for you to know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're picking up on that. So very good. That was amazing.
Amber, does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So James, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the clairs, but that would be clairsentient. So feeling somebody else's emotions, which is
Okay.
amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I'm actually, I was wondering if that wasn't also for me or something crazy, because I'm going to pick up my black and white dog, and I assume when she's in heaven, and I just assume she's in the mountains where I live, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, that totally would have resonates with me too. It's crazy. I'm going right now to go pick her up. Right now.
Let's go through and then we'll get the validation
Crazy.
from Amber.
Yeah, from Amber.
Okay, so Rhonda. I can't hear. Oh, you're still muted. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I muted you again. They asked you to unmute. I'm sorry. I did that.
Okay. Okay, Amber, what I picked up, as far as I like to try to see if a person is in a relationship. I don't feel that you're married. I did pick up that you were in a relationship. I got like 2 to 7 years, but I'm also picking up something happening in a relationship. So I don't know if you're in it still. I'm picking up some heartbreak, but I'm also seeing something ending, and I'm not quite sure if it's the relationship, intimate relationship, or some other type of ending, of someone maybe in your family. I'm also seeing no children of your own, but I picked up children around you. I'm not sure what that means. I feel that you may like gardening, flowers, or something to do with planting. I was seeing that. I also feel that you work in an office setting, but I also pick up that you either work in a health or medical field, or if that's something of interest to you. Um, I feel like there's a decision that you have to make or that you've been thinking about. Um, and I feel like you know what to do, or you need to look within and trust your intuition on this decision. You got to be very careful and try not to just go with your heart, but heart and mind when you're making this decision. Um, I do feel that with this heartbreak and ending, I feel like in the future there's going to be happiness. I'm not sure if any of this resonates, but that's just what I'm picking up. And I feel like it's something was going on where you felt betrayed or cheated out of something. So that's all I got.
Beautiful, thank you. So I got, well, the first thing that came to me was I felt that you have really flowing energy and you're really open, but there's one area that's really guarded. And at first I thought it got relationship, but then I also got work. So at first it was one area, but then I got relationship and work. And with work, can't read this. Oh, looking for change. So I saw a little boy, and he had, at first I thought he was blonde, but then he had light, like I said, was connecting more. He had light brown hair, and he was at the beach, and he was throwing sand and like really playing and having a really great time. And I wasn't sure if this, at first I thought maybe this was your son, and then I kind of think this is somebody in spirit. And so when we do mediumship, I don't know if he'll come back and tell me more about who he is, or if this is some kind of guide, or I don't know. But he was really vivid to me, and like just having the most amazing time in the world. It was kind of fun to watch him play. I feel like you have a lot of interest, a real lot of interest, and so first I got painting, but I paint. So I thought that was like a symbol for me to go further. So there's some kind of creative endeavor I feel like you want to explore. And there's some hesitation there. So first I got the painting, then I heard reading, that you like to read. And then I got, no, she doesn't like to read. She's writing a book, or is going to write a book, or wants to write a book, but doesn't know how. So there's something there in the creative realm that is you want to, I feel like you want to explore it, but you're hesitant. And the message I got was, please go forward with it from your guides. And then I started to get overwhelmed like James was, and I just felt like I had to take a deep breath, and I had to stop the reading. I got so overwhelmed. I just like, I had to really breathe it out. And so I feel like that is though some kind of release that needs to happen for you. All right. And so there's this dream that you have. I think it's work related, and it may be related to that creativity. And you feel like you maybe can't do it, shouldn't do it, can't, I don't know, more like can't do it. And so there's a delay in getting started. All right. So that was what I got. So let's start with going back for Laura. She got the kids. So if you could validate, do you have kids?
I do. I have two daughters.
Two daughters. Okay. Okay. Okay, so she saw a 0, and I don't know. Then she said, oh, do any of their names, I'm just wondering, start with an O, or does that have any meaning to you? No. Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, so Lori, yes, you got that right with the kids. You said yes. And then she said that You were between age 20 to 40, under 40.
I'm 26.
Okay. So, I mean, that was a wide, okay, that works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so for work, there were a couple work things and I'll just kind of lump them together for that all of us got. So she got the fireworks with the pom-poms. I got the thing about looking for change in work, which I think could kind of tie into what Laura got. Rhonda got the piece about the office. James, I don't think picked up on work.
No.
He
So
didn't ask himself
those-
anyways either.
did any of those things resonate with you?
Yeah. I don't know if you want me to say what I do or.
I don't want you to really say what you do, but I guess I need a little bit to understand how the pieces might resonate.
So there's 3 major parts to my job. One of the parts is an office. One of the parts, the firework kind of resonated with me because it's very chaotic. And then the other part, I spend time helping people face to face.
Okay. And I'll just ask you for the piece I got about looking for a change with work into a more creative realm. Did that resonate or no?
It did.
Okay. All right. And then,
Can she tell
okay,
us? Can she tell us what she does? Why can't she?
let's wait till the end. Just in case we get more information, let's wait till the end. Are you going to make it, Laura? I know it's hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
know it's hard.
that bit about the dog, or that just really was weird.
I know. All right, giraffe. Okay. Can you give us any insight about the giraffe?
I used to have an alpaca.
Oh,
Wait, really?
Yeah, I had multiple alpacas.
that is hilarious.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm glad that I wrote all that crap down. That was a big paragraph of ifs, maybes, ands, or buts. Trying to explain that I thought it was the camera angle.
Yeah, no, so that's the thing. When you're getting information and it's really vivid, there's something to it, whether or not you understand. And that's why I always say you just give what you get. You give what you get. You ask as many questions, and if you can't get anywhere with it, those are the things that usually come out as the things that stick out for whoever's sitting.
Why'd you get rid of the alpacas?
They grew older, and so their lifespan is about 20 years. So they got older and they had to move on.
Okay, so then she got the boxes of smaller,
And indifference.
feeling indifferent. Did that have any resonance with you?
Somewhat.
All right, so then we'll move on to what James got. So he saw a small puppy, black and white, and sitting by itself. Can you take that?
Recently, yes.
You just got a dog? You just got a puppy?
No, unfortunately, a childhood dog recently passed.
Oh. And it was black and white?
It was.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. And then he saw the white angel figurine. Does that resonate? Do you have a connection with angels?
Somewhat angels in general.
Okay, and what's interesting is he picked up on the fire too. Laura got fireworks. James got fire. I don't know if you guys realize that. Seemed like it was like a cartoonish, right, James? Like a cartoonish
Yes.
depiction of fire.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't a real fire flame. It was like a crude drawing. Like I said, like Bart Simpson hair, like squiggle with orange at first, but the orange went away immediately, and it was just the outline. That's why I thought there was something that I need to ask there.
Awesome. So does that resonate?
It does.
Okay. I'm just going to write a list of things I want more information on. So I want to know more about work at the end. I want to know more about the fire. Okay. All right, the mountain scene, more focused on the forest, the greenery, and the alive part.
Yep.
Okay. And then, okay, this emotional overwhelm, and you did say that resonated with you. And Rhonda was picking up on the heartbreak. And so is that what that was in relation to?
Bits and pieces, yes.
Okay.
For me, it was it was more of like a weight, like just like a heaviness, like too much. Like I've had enough. It's too much right now. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then Rhonda got that you're not married.
Separated.
Okay. And so that ties into that heartbreak. She got 2 to 7 years.
I was married for 7 years.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I got not married, but I got that you were in a relationship. I got 2 to 7 years, but then I got something happening or
Yeah.
ending or heart.
And feeling betrayed and cheated. I mean, I was picking up on the cheat.
Yeah. Okay.
That resonates? Okay. Heartbreak, something ending, the ending. And so I think we got that all validated for you, Rhonda. So we already got the children, so 2 daughters. And the gardening.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. We already talked about, oh, the office. She got medical field. Does that resonate? Medical field?
Not necessarily. Some of the people I work with have mental and physical issues that we
Okay.
work around
Okay, so
or
that's
work through.
what you're picking up on. Okay, so there's a decision you have to make. Is that true?
Yeah, there's a decision.
And the message there was, just to reiterate it, and you know what to do, trust your intuition, but be careful that you have the heart and the mind coordinated
Yeah.
as you're making that decision. Okay. And then I got the flowing energy open. Would you say that resonates? Okay.
Definitely.
The one area that's guarded, which was actually 2 areas. I don't know why I got 1 and then it turned into 2, the work and the relationship.
Yep.
Okay. What about the little boy?
Not as sure about that. It kind of hit me funny when you said it, but not
Yeah.
as sure.
Okay. Okay, what about, so I said there you have a lot of interests and then got this piece about the creativity and the painting, then the book.
I draw, so but I write all the time. So it started out as journals, but then they've kind of morphed into stories and things like that, poems.
Cool. And then I was also picking up on the emotional, feeling the need to breathe. There's some kind of release. And that you have a dream that is work related, maybe tied
Yes.
into that. Okay. Perfect. Did anybody have anything they wanted validated that I missed?
Oh, I had one thing written down. Well, it was with the freshness. Did you say anything about the fresh? We were talking about spring and a new season, a new start. But for some reason, it was a feeling of a freshness. Like I said, it stood out to me um, like after it rains almost, or early in the morning when there's still dew, in the spring, and it's like warm and humid a little bit, kind of like a just that was real big for me. I don't know why.
Definitely resonates for sure.
All right, we're running a little bit behind, guys, just a little bit. We'll see how the next part goes. I'm gonna share my desktop. I pulled a card. I got a new deck, by the way, that I really love. I don't know if any of you have seen this. It's called the Enchanted Map. It's amazing. I love this deck. All right, so I'm gonna share my desktop. Okay. Can you see it? Can you see the card? It says Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
You can see it? Okay. So we're gonna, how about 3 minutes? You guys think we could do this in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's read this for 3 minutes. I'm gonna mute everybody and then we'll come back. Any questions before we get started? Okay. Did someone ask a question? My computer did something funny. No? All right, that was 3 minutes. Was that enough time? Remember, you guys are muted. Okay. Laura, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I feel like short rejuvenations are part of your transformation. That's what I get. That's what I want to convey.
Okay, so I'm just, since that was sort of channeled, I'll just ask Amber, did that resonate with you?
Sure.
Okay. All right, James, how do you feel about going next?
Yeah. Okay. Uh, I've never looked at like a card like that before and done it. Well, really any of this. So, but the first thing that stood out to me in the middle was the way those swans made like a heart shape. I think those are swans, but it was like a heart shape that stood out. Um, then I noticed just above that the way that the feathers were, and that is kind of what the peaks. Like I was telling you guys about the mountains, like that was almost like the vision, and it was like an orange, just like that. It was like it was kind of like that, really. Um, so it brought me back to that, and what I was getting then was um, that like all of us, everybody has peaks and valleys in our lives, ups and downs, and with the mountains, I feel like you are maybe in or were in a valley in your life of some sort, and that you're coming out of it, and I think that's like the metamorphosis, maybe, of what the word means on the card, and that again was with the spring, like it all kind of was together for me there, with the springtime and the freshness, like the sun was rising. It looks like the sun's in the card for you, and then so like a new day, or I don't know, like a new, like it was good though. It felt like it's getting better. Like something is. I felt like a smile, a very good smile, and a sense of security, but it wasn't from anyone else. It was like um, like a self security. You were secure with yourself now, or you will be, and you haven't been maybe, but it's like it's there. Like it's coming. It's like right there. It was yeah. It was happy. It was very good smile, and just I don't know, like the weight maybe that I was feeling before. It seemed like that is going to be going away if it's there. I don't know. That's all.
I lost the picture. Can you guys still see the picture?
Mhm.
Okay, I lost
Can you
it.
guys hear? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you perfectly.
Okay. I'm in the basement trying to be a little bit quiet. Not so. We got a bunch of people here, so.
Could definitely hear you. Okay, so we'll just have you validate that now. Okay, so the heart shape, the feathers, the peaks, feeling like you're in the valley right now.
For a while, definitely.
And then he sees you coming out of it. The new day, which is kind of, to me, relates back to that freshness, James, that you were picking up on. And I like
Yeah.
how you saw the mountains in that, which is cool, the mountains that you were seeing before. And you're right, it almost looks exactly like what you were describing. And then the getting better, I guess it's more of a message for you to take, like it's going to be better. It's coming. It's right around the corner. Or you're feeling that now. Would you say it's coming, or you're feeling that now?
I feel like it's on the rise.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any other insight for validation for James, or that I missed?
I feel like he hit it on the head pretty well.
Awesome. Anything specifically, James, that you want her to validate?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, maybe I did underline the word self. I don't know, the security with yourself. Do you is that something you struggle with maybe, or were?
It's been something I've been working on, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Rhonda, you're up.
So what first got me was I look at the numbers and it adds up to a 7. And that just makes me feel like a spiritual awakening, a change. And with the metamorphosis, I see the caterpillars and it is, so I wrote down that sometimes life throws us curveballs. I feel like this is a depiction of what you've been going through with the changes, and that sometimes these can cause us to have fear and self-doubt because you might not be able to see how things are going to turn out, but to know that you're going to come out of this, and it's coming out of this, you're going to be brighter, stronger, and that's going to ignite passions that you desire, that you want for yourself. You'll be able to have a clear vision. Right now, you might not see it, but you're going through this transformation. Change is not easy, but sometimes it happens because it needs to happen in order for us to evolve. And that's what I feel from this card.
That was beautiful. Any thoughts, Amber?
It feels perfect, honestly. Once again.
Okay, so anything specific that was more like just a message to her, Rhonda, but just want to ask you, was there anything specifically you wanted her to validate? Okay.
No.
All right, so I also, the first thing I picked up was what James picked up was that heart with the, I don't know, are they flamingos? I don't know what kind of bird it is. That heart. But I also noticed that their beaks seem to be tied together. And I felt like someone's tying themselves to you. And that in order to have that love, that tie needs to come undone, because it has, like, you can come together but shouldn't be tied. It shouldn't feel like prison, I guess. That's what I was getting. So there's something in that. And then the, like, the feathers, like, I feel the freedom. That's the overall message. And actually I didn't write it down, but this is, I channel a lot. So when I start to talk, that's when I get stuff. I also felt like this thing on the left-hand side, to me, I know it's not, but it felt like a fire-breathing dragon. And it felt like there was you felt like somebody was, like, imposing themselves onto you in a harmful kind of way. But if you notice, there are these clouds in protecting you. So to let go of that fear that you are protected, they can't get to you, is what the message I'm getting. They can't get to you, and don't let them get to you. And they don't hold power. You have your own power. You just need to set those boundaries. The message I channeled there was, remember that you are love. What happened has nothing to do with you. This is showing you exactly who you are, even though it feels like, and I noticed, like, the storm clouds, it's like all these storm clouds, but close to you. And I see you as this one on the left. I don't know why. That's what I pick up, you on the left, even though they look identical. I feel like you're the one on the left, and you are the one covered in the light. So even though the storm clouds in the back, you're the light. And so that can't take you over. And then I saw in that darkness, I saw all these paths. Like, there were, like, so many different paths. And I felt like there's one that's standing out. And you already know which one, like, you're, like, undecided on which one you're going to take, but there's one that stands out more, and that's the one that you should take. All right. So that's what I got. Does any of that, can you take any of that?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Do dragons have any, do you have any, like, any
Kind of, yeah. It's funny.
because so what happens to me when I do readings for people, like the days before I do a reading for someone, even if I don't know I'm going to be doing a reading for someone, they start showing up, and I've had dragons showing up for me the last couple, like the whole last week. I've had all these dragons showing up, like in cards I'm pulling and paintings I've been doing. Like I just keep seeing dragons. So those were for you?
Yes.
Okay. You got some. The other thing about dragons, I just want to say, is like that dragon energy is really powerful, and it's not necessarily negative. It's like a power that you could stand in that. Like you can be that fire breathing dragon with love. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
All right. Okay. Anything else on cards before we move on to mediumship?
I forgot to mention, I picked up on the word reflect. Like this is a time for you to reflect on things that's going on, assess, and then move forward. And Elizabeth, when you were talking about are those flamingos or birds, that made me think about reflecting. Like you could be looking at yourself, and I just had,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Oh,
that just popped in.
That feels really good to me, actually. Really good to me. Wow. That feels really good to me. Anything you want to say about that, Amber?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time reflecting recently.
Okay.
that might be what the self thing I was saying about. When you said reflect and looking at that as a reflection, that I think that's it.
Asha.
Okay, so I'm stopping sharing, and we are going to do mediumship now. So I'm going to turn the timer on this time for 5 minutes, and we'll see if we can connect any spirits and get a message. Anyone have any questions before we get started?
Yeah, can I have just like a like a rundown, I guess, maybe?
Yeah.
Or
So this is what I teach, how I do it is I close my eyes and I say, I would like any spirits who are around Amber to come through. I close my eyes. I imagine opening a door, and I know that when I open the door, there's a spirit there. And I'll look at that spirit in my imagination, write down whatever, like, it'll be just the same way you were receiving the other information. And then you can ask them for a message. Does that help?
yes.
Okay. Anyone else have any thoughts for James before? No? Okay. Right. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right. That was 5 minutes. Laura, you want to go first?
I just saw a little girl jumping up and down in a pink dress. I think it was more maybe like metaphorical, like that was you when you were little or something. I didn't do the door thing. I didn't. I don't
Anything,
know.
did you get anything from her? Any messages or?
Mm-mm. Nope. I feel like it wasn't like a past person, more like a feeling.
Feeling. So what was the feeling, Laura? Can you describe that a little more?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
No. Sorry.
And I was just thinking too, you felt like it was her as a child, like the inner child, rather than one of her daughters.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Like a girl in a poofy pink dress, jumping up and down. A very short little girl, little person.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you have any feelings about that, Amber.
It sounds like one of my daughters, honestly, but
And a bow in her hair.
yeah.
Let's see. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So I saw the door. I tried to visualize the door, but it was changing colors. It was red and green and maybe going through like rainbow colors. No particular pattern, just changing. I don't know if it was me or you, but I didn't feel like I was having reluctance to open the door. I don't know. I don't know why, but there was some reluctance there, resistance, maybe resistance. But I opened it after a moment, and I didn't. There was a moment of nothing, but then it was a pen. It was a pen or pencil tapping on a desk. A hand holding like on the desk. Like tapping pencil or pen, something like that. I think male hand. But that was all from that, and then from somewhere else. It was a quote of "Don't hold back." Don't hold back, but it wasn't a motivational quote like a poster, like all all the memes or whatever. Don't hold back. It wasn't like that. Like you can do it kind of thing. It was from like someone who knows you, that knows you like what you're capable of, what you can do, that sees the potential in you, saying don't hold back that way. That's all.
That seems really vivid, James. That was really
Yeah.
impressive that for the first time doing that. Sometimes if I'm not seeing the person, which it sounds like you weren't seeing the person and getting the description, I have a feeling about who it is. Did you get any feeling about that?
No.
Okay. All right, Amber. Sometimes the sitter gets a feeling about who it is too. Like they just know who it is.
The tapping of the pen kind of set it off for me a little bit, but I should I say who it is or just say it
Well,
resonates?
maybe we should, you know what, let's wait just in case Rhonda, that's not who I picked up on. Sometimes we get the same people. Let's see who Rhonda picked up on first. Because if
Okay.
it's the same person, let's do that.
Okay.
Rhonda?
So I saw a female, and
Okay.
so I try to get validation on a relationship. I heard grandmother. So I got mother side and I got father side. So I don't know. I'm trying to distinguish. Um, but I saw an older female, short hair, kind of whitish, grayish, brownish. She had on a white type of a lounge, white gown, nightgown type of outfit. So I felt like this person did some type of, I heard served people. Um, like I picked up like service worker, like I see this person serving people food or doing some type of community type of job or something that it's kind of hard. Then I heard shelter. I don't know, but something where she served people, helped people. And I I then saw oxygen. I saw oxygen, like someone with the oxygen around, like they were getting oxygen to breathe. So I felt like maybe that was something that this person could have experienced at the time of their passing. Um, she says she loves you so much. I She showed me you driving. So I feel like, so I try to pick up, like, give me something to show that you're around. So she likes to sit in the back seat when you're driving. And she showed me, so I seen you driving and kind of moving your rear view mirror, like, and I think maybe sometimes you might talk things out or might be talking about something that's in your mind. She's there, she's listening. I hear talk things out. I'm listening. She loves you. She wants you to not be afraid to go off and do things and make decisions on your own. Don't be afraid. You have what you need in you to do whatever you want to do. I'm sorry, I'm getting home. Just know that she knows what you're going through and she's there.
I think I was picking up on the same person,
Oof.
but I saw her as like this really like hunched over, like she was little and hunched over, like not a little woman, but just like, because I think she was presenting to me like at the end of her life. I got that she was a smoker. I felt lung cancer. That's what and then when you said the oxygen, I don't know, there was some kind of,
No, I just saw this person had
yeah.
oxygen.
I wrote down smoker with the question mark. So I felt like there was something with lungs. But I thought it was grandmother, but then I don't know. I got this picture of my neighbor that I had when I was little. Her name was Nellie, and I would go to her house and she would give us animal crackers and tea, and we weren't allowed to have tea. So I don't know if it was like the relationship with your grandmother, like she would give you things you weren't allowed to have, or if this was a neighbor, or if the name Nellie is significant. So I felt grandmother, but then I got that other stuff. She was like, I saw you with her as a little child, like she was in a rocking chair and she was hugging you and you're like curled up in her lap. And I just felt like this. And she said, well, you were always my favorite. She gave you a key, and the key is for a special box, and the special box is you, like in this box. And she said, you're my special box. Don't let anyone put anything in there that's not yours. And you have the key to this box, so you get to control what goes in there. And I felt like it was beliefs, like somebody was implanting these beliefs that weren't yours, and like you were tied up in the believing things that weren't true about yourself. Someone that you need to push out of your life, it's telling you lies, and don't believe it. Take the stuff out of that box that's not yours. Okay. So let's go back to James. Laura, we did the validation for Laura. Okay, so James, does the changing of the color door from red to green to rainbow mean anything to you, Amber? Did that? Because I feel like that was really important.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I think because we're at the end of the reading, if you want to give us more validation at this point, that's fine.
Okay. So, I had a childhood friend who passed away, but he was Technicolor rainbows changed with the wind type person, and his favorite color was rainbow and purple. So I think that's kind of where that comes from. And growing up, he was a notorious pen tapper, just tapping his pen, fidgeting with the pen, erasers, ripping things apart.
Would there be a reason that you would be reluctant, or James was reluctant to open that door?
We didn't, before he passed, we weren't on very good terms. We hadn't talked for a while, and it's not because anything necessarily bad happened, just separating in life, but we would check in on major birthdays, holidays, things like that.
Okay.
Inside jokes. So the connection was there, but I think because we had moved on to different parts of our life, it was, people grow apart.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of reluctant to actually go to his funeral. I spent a long time. Should I go? Should I not go?
And then the don't hold back. And that's the message from him, like just knowing you and being with you in spirit. And it's funny how we're connected like this. Even somebody that you had that kind of relationship with is there. And that's the game we're playing in life, right? But he's still there with you and knows your potential. That's what James said. He sees the potential in you, and he's like, sounded to me, and James, you can clarify, like he's pretty firm, like don't hold back. This is yours. Right?
Yeah, it was like a plead, like that. It was like I said, it wasn't a motivational like you can do it. It was just like please don't hold back, like that.
So James, is that validation enough for you? I feel like that was pretty
yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
for your first time. That's awesome. Happy for you. Okay, so Ron, anything else, James, before I move on to Rhonda's?
No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
So female grandmother, she couldn't get mother's side or father's side. I kind of felt like mother's side. Was that who it was, your grandmother?
Definitely. I think you were picking up on her sister, but they were very close.
Me?
Yes,
Oh,
you,
okay.
Elizabeth. But I think Rhonda, nail on the head, had my grandmother, and I lived in a multi-generational home growing up, so she was like a mother to my father and my mother. It was my mom's mom, but my dad didn't live close to his family, so that was his family.
Oh, I got goosebumps. That's
I picked
awesome.
up both, and it's like sometimes I don't know.
That was
They were really close.
Okay.
Rhonda, that's awesome.
Mm,
Okay, so
okay.
the older female, short hair, whitish, grayish, lounge nightgown. The serving
She always
people.
wore a nightgown.
Okay.
What was that?
The serving people, food, community,
She
job,
was
and
a lunch lady.
Oh gosh. Okay. That's the first thing I saw, serve people, and I'm like, okay, should I? I'm like, I'm just saying what? Okay.
say what you
Wow.
get. Then you get validation. See how it works?
Yeah.
We're on fire today, guys. Okay, oxygen.
She actually had a tumor on her heart, and at the end of her life, she needed oxygen
Okay.
She personally had never smoked, never drank, nothing. So she lived to her later 80s, but it was a real shock to just see her kind of need the oxygen. She had had heart problems, but never lung problems. But as things started to shut down, it was a huge point of anxiety for her that she couldn't breathe.
And then the message, okay, is that she loves you so much, driving and then sitting in the back seat and talk
I'm a
when.
driver's ed teacher, so a huge
You are?
part of I
Oh
am.
my God.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm constantly talking out loud to my students, but every now and then I'm saying like a little prayer, like, please, somebody watch over me, because people generally try to kill us at some point or another.
Amber, that makes some. She showed me a vision of you driving, and that you talking. She's in that back seat. That's where she likes to sit, and she sits and listens to you, and she's watching. She's with you. That's
That's
awesome.
good to hear. It's funny, a couple weeks ago, I swore I smelled her. Like, I was in the car with a student, even with a mask and everything, and I'm like, man, it smells like grandma in here.
That's her. Yes.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
All right. Anything else specifically you wanted validated, Rhonda?
No,
Okay.
no. That's
All right. So my person, so that was your great aunt then,
Yep.
not the neighbor. Would she give you things you weren't supposed to have and tell you you were her favorite?
All the time, lip gloss, candy, pens, markers. Um,
So
it's
you
fun.
were her favorite.
I was like one of the youngest, so I think that helped, you know.
Okay. Okay. What about the key in the special box and like having somebody like, was that message like someone putting like false beliefs to you somehow and you have to sort that out?
Definitely. For sure. I'm pretty sure it was referring to my ex-husband.
Okay, well, just take that with you, for sure, take that with you. And don't let him put those things in there. What about the smoking?
She died of lung cancer.
Okay, that's what okay.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure.
Yeah, she was a heavy smoker. She was married and then got divorced and lived her life alone, but was fabulous. She had a great job. She was a banker and just really passionate about art and family.
Awesome. Okay, so we just have a couple minutes left. There were some things we wanted clarified. The work, we got that figured out, okay? And Rhonda, you did that. Fantastic. And that's why I think it's really cool that we wait to the end, right? To get the further validation to see how it plays out. The fire, there was a couple different things about the fire. What can you tell us about that?
So 2.5 years ago, I had a house fire and it was a total loss. And that was a really, a big turnaround point for me. Leading up to it, I was in a relationship with my kid's dad and it wasn't going good. And then when the fire happened, I'm like, oh my God, this is a sign. I should not be here, because it was a house that we both worked really hard to rebuild and put together and make a home. But things didn't feel like home, and then it burned down. And shortly after, a year and a half after, is when I decided to leave him, after the house had been rebuilt. And it was supposed to be perfect, happy ending to the tragedy.
Yeah. Well, you're taking care of yourself now. I really get that feeling that you're putting you first and get that shit out of that box. Sorry, I had to say it.
No, it's cool. I understand that. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Okay. The mountain.
So when I left, I moved into a house that's right on the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. And every morning I wake up, I'm a morning person, and I look out and I just look at spring is my favorite, but fall's my favorite too. And I just take it in and I appreciate what's around me. Nature, the trees, the plants.
And then the too much, I had enough, the emotional thing, is that just
It
what you're,
was
divorce and everything?
after the fire. He did some pretty bad things. We had a miscarriage. There was a lot of arguments and things that just didn't need to happen, and I'd had.
I think that little boy, because I was sort of picking up on that, and I don't know if you were able to tell a gender at that point, but I think that little boy, I was kind of feeling like that was,
That's kind of what hit me. I wasn't sure. I didn't know the gender at the time. When it happened, I didn't really want to know anything. I just kind of wanted it to be over.
yeah, I think that's who I was connecting with. And because he was coming through like really happy, like that's the message for you. Like he's playing in the sand and happy, and like I just saw like such joy, like a little, I mean, you have kids, so you know, like that freedom of the throwing the sand. And I know it might be hard for you to hear that, but that's why I mean, I was kind of feeling that and I didn't say it, but that's cool. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Was there anything else that you felt important to validate for us, Amber?
I think Laura with the firework, I don't know if it was necessarily the fire, but my job sometimes between the classroom portion, dealing with 30 people, right now it's in Zoom, there's explosive tendencies, people, so many personalities coming together. And I think trying to calm that, but then when you get in the car, you're dealing with people's anxieties, their emotions. So I totally feel like I'm trying to herd fireworks or just mini explosions all the time, trying to diffuse things. But it's something I really like about my job,
Yeah.
is dealing with so many different types of people and the craziness, controlling chaos.
That's awesome. All right. Did anyone else have any questions for Amber before we close this down?
What about the dog?
Yeah, the duck-
What was it? Your
So,
dog? And
ducks quacking in the back.
yeah, it's funny. I had a childhood Chihuahua, and he recently passed a couple weeks ago. He was 24, so he had lived a really long time, and it was kind of a shock to my parents, even though we knew it was coming. He had lived such a long, healthy, happy life that when it happened, we shouldn't have been as surprised as we were, but it was still a shock to the system, you know?
Always hard, yeah.
What was the dog's name?
Chino, after Al Pacino.
Did you have a name, James, or you were picking up on something?
No, I was trying to tie in the angel thing. Trying to figure out what that was.
My grandmother collected angels. Everything was angels. So I had a figurine. I had multiple figurines at one point, but I lost everything in the fire. So I don't really have the sentimental things anymore. My grandparents were a huge part of my life growing up. And so
Was it the same? I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
The same grandma Rhonda was talking about?
Yeah.
Interesting, James. So in looking back at my notes, you got the angel, and then immediately after the angel was the fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. All right, so let's close it down. We just say a little prayer and close on the energy, and then just close it off. So I like to, as we close it down, just kind of clear my energy, because you start to merge with other people's energy. We're merging all of our energies together while we're doing this. Just gonna clear it off by brushing my arms and my energy. However you want to clear your energy, it's fine for you. But thank you, universe, God, angels, infinity, whatever feels best for you, for helping us today and developing our abilities and connecting with each other in Amber. And may we be continually supported throughout the next few weeks before we meet again. And thank you, Amber, for connecting with us and sharing your beautiful energy with us today and allowing us to read for you and sharing that. We lovingly cut all energetic cords and send it back to you with gratitude and love. Anybody else have anything they want to say before we end?
I just want to say hi to Laura and Rhonda. Nice meeting you guys, and that was really fun for me.
Well, we can talk after this too. I think, don't we normally
Okay.
section off and then talk about
And
how this went?
we only have a minute or so. So I'm going to stop recording.